How do you know you are going to wake up tomorrow? By faith. How are you sure you are not going to sleep tomorrow, today and die tomorrow? By faith. Because I have seen people that pray more than you died. I have seen people that fasted more than you died. I have seen people that know more than you died. But the time comes when the faith of men failed them. That's why Jesus told Peter, Peter, the devil desired to strip you like a reed. But I have prayed for you that your faith fail not. And in the day you are strong, strengthen your brethren. He may never lose his prayer life, but he lost his faith. His faith failed. Judas came to a point where he hung himself. Why? Not because he betrayed Jesus. Because Peter did the same thing. But the reason why Judas hung himself was because his faith failed. If Judas would have waited, Jesus resurrected, he will forgive him. Yes. You are not as bad as evil as you think you are, but let your faith fail not. You should be able to hold on a little bit. There are many people that just give up just when it's about to happen. Just when the matter is about to change, that's when they give up. Many people just committed suicide just when God is about to answer their prayers. Many people just kill themselves just when it's about to happen. How are you sure that tomorrow things may change? By this time tomorrow. The matters of faith is not about when. It's about not even about how it will happen. It happens like a miracle. That's why the Bible says when the Lord return again the captivity in Israel, it will be as though we dream. How can a prophet appear by a valley full of dry bones and he was demanded to prophesy to it? What we did not see was that at that very moment the prophet became a captain of army of the land. This was a valley full of dry bones. All the armies were dead. The people that were allotted to go for war, somehow they were ambushed. And it became a Kadesh Barnea. All of them died. They became dry bones. And the nation forsake them. And a prophet appeared by that valley. And the Lord said, oh, son of man, can these bones live again? Are the bones not living? They are living. But what he was asking, can out of this impossible situation bring something that is possible? The first training of a prophet is to come to a point where he doesn't think like men. Because if you think like men, you perish like men. They don't know, neither do they understand. So they walk on in darkness. And all the foundation of the earth is out of course. The reason is simply because men limited God by their own limitation. They saw within a veil and they believed that God is actually hidden in a veil. And when the prophet began to think like God, he said, yes, I believe. But it's not about me now. It's about you. Because none of us is going to doubt whether God is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscience. But you are going to doubt yourself whether are you omnipotent, are you omnipresent or omniscience. Because God can tell you something and you still don't believe him. And I told you, the Lord told me, believe in me, believe in people, and believe in yourself. Most importantly, believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody will believe in you. If you don't believe in yourself, even God himself will find it very hard to believe in you. Moses, I want to use you. Moses said you can't use me. So God has to take a lot of time to bring Moses to a point where he has to believe that God can use him. Because by the time Moses can reason together with God, God can now do the impossible. What you call impossible is not impossible to everybody. The things you call not possible is not possible within your realm of existence. There is a realm you enter. Everything is possible. The Bible said all things are possible to them that believe. I can do all things through Christ. Forget about English language. There is a realm of possibility. If you check through scripture, there is nothing called impossible. No wonder our beloved Pastor Julius said, what God cannot do does not exist. So are you going to come and introduce to me another thing and tell me that this thing is not possible? It's not possible with men, but with God, all things are possible. But what makes them possible? The molecule of faith. You can only believe. All things are possible. And I want to let you understand you can step into this conference with an infirmity and believe that I'm not going back with it. Anytime Jesus Christ appeared before any person, Son of man, have mercy upon me, heal me. See, it's not about me. I have the capacity to heal you, but do you believe you can be healed? There was never a time that Jesus Christ did anything. He said, yes, I think I'm a superman of God now. He said, your faith has healed. That means all true. They have the capacity to get themselves healed, but they never got healed. Yes. In fact, a centurion man came and met him. Come and lay hands. After a while, he said, don't even lay hands, just speak the word. When you speak the word, my servant will be. At that very moment, the servant was healed. If he did not shift his paradigm of faith and believing, if he believed that until hand is laid, he won't be healed. But when he came to a point, he said, just speak the word. And Jesus said, I have never seen such a faith even in Israel. That means faith can be in different level. It can be in different measure. So prayer helps you build your faith, because it's possible for you to be praying, and because you don't have the faith to receive it, you are handicapped. And let me tell you, another problem with faith, looks like a problem, is that faith in itself is handicapped without grace. Faith is handicapped without grace. If God did not supply grace, faith seems to be handicapped. Because whatsoever you lay hold of by faith, it's made available because grace supplied. So Paul can say, I am what I am by the grace of God. That grace was not in vain, in that I what? Labor more than they all. There was a labor, he was laboring, but that labor was in grace. So although faith seems to be supplied, grace was supplied first. So we advance to the degree to which grace is supplied. See, grace and peace be multiplied to you through the knowledge. So as you advance in the knowledge of God, God supplied grace and he supplied peace. So in the midst of so many things, people are complaining on that, but you find yourself being elevated. So when others say they are casting down, you say there is a lifting up. Not because, but grace is supplied for you. It's like a velocity, it's like a force given unto you to enter into a cruising altitude. How all of a sudden a plane will go up? No, don't worry. This one will be supply certain mechanism to help him go up. It's the same way in your life. No matter your faith, you can stand and speak and speak and speak. If grace is not made available, your faith is handicapped. So that is the reason why, if you check in the book of Hebrews chapter 1, Hebrews chapter 11, when they talk about the people that, of course, by faith they did this, by faith they did that, they now went further, down towards 30-something. They begin to speak about some people that even through their faith, their faith took them to go to jail to die. Some their faith make them to be so asunder. Some people now through their faith, they have to endure persecution. They have to go through criminal. Why? That means, or those kind of people, grace was not supplied for them to actualize what their faith had believed in. But that kind of people are terrible. Why? Because they make God to become like a debtor. Because they without us are not being made perfect. Those are the kind of people that after they have lived and believed God, they had so much faith. Yet again, nothing seems to happen. Why? Because grace was not supplied. So they came to a point where they entered so many dimensions. Yet again, they could not manifest it. Why? Because grace was not supplied for manifestation. So those dimensions now became things that they have to manifest in time to come. So some of them upon the face of the earth, they not came and died. And because they died, another generation have to come to continue from where they stopped, because they have already paid a price for it. So there are people that are going to step into the inheritance of what other people have paid a price by faith. Now grace is not supplied. And because the appointed time has come, manifestation become normal. Because when God supplies grace, he begins to make everything work for good. But when he does not supply grace, no matter how much you pray in faith, it will still be like that. So one of our greatest prayer is, God, supply grace unto me. And when God wants to supply grace to a man, he does what we call the help of God. Because anyone God chooses to help, he supply grace for you. You are in a situation where you are giving up on yourself. You have come to the end of yourself. You now say, God, help me. At that point, that is when grace is supplied. When a man has come to the end of himself, that's when God now is introduced. Because God cannot truly help you if you still have another way, another means. The Bible speaks about the woman suffering with the issue of blood. How she moved helter-skelter, move here, move there. And when everything has finished, her problem was because she has money. When all the money finished, now she knew that if I can but touch the hem of his garment, I can be made whole. That possibility was in her since. She knew if she can touch the hem of his garment, she may. But it was not a factor to be considered as long as there was money to go to the best hospital in America. But in the days when all the hospitals are done, she now said, okay, there's a last option. If I can touch the hem of his garment. And now grace was now supplied for the hem of the garment. And he was not even aware. And as she touched, there was a healing. All through before that time, that possibility was there. She could not see. So grace and faith helps you to come to a point of realization of what God can do to you. And it doesn't matter the situation where you find yourself. By the help of God, the Ebenezer of God, you will locate a rock. You will locate a stone of help. And at that very moment, suddenly you now see your life begin to walk in a way that men cannot be able to gainsay. They cannot be able to explain. When we appear before God in glory shift, it's so that God can take us from one degree of glory to another degree of glory. It's not something that we have to labor. If we have to labor so much, it's not God. If it is God, there is not supposed to be so much labor, exertion of so. No. You don't believe me? We labor to enter rest. When you enter rest, you walk in rest. Because when you enter rest, many things will work together for you. Others may be doing a business. You will do the same thing, but you will find ease. Why? Because of the supply of grace. Because grace is supposed to make the thing a little bit easy. The burden and the yoke may be very heavy, but grace make it a little bit light. And the things that people want to try that you are doing by the supply of grace, they try it and they find it very hard. I told you, it's hard to do anything without the help of God. Hard to do anything. If you want a hard life, neglect the help of God. You will see it. And where do we access this help of God? That is my point, so that we can pray. The secret place. The secret place is the dwelling place of the presence of God. Anyone that does not have a healthy secret place where he dwells with God does not have a future in God. If you don't have a place of isolation where you dwell with God, a place where men do not know, all that you see about men is not all there is to them. In fact, I can come to your house today and you show me every part of your house. You will hide another part from me. Is that not true? Why? Because those parts does not concern me. Is that the truth? It's possible for you to stay in somebody's house for 1 month. You never enter other places in the house. You have no business to go there. Why? It's a secret place. There is a limit to which you are welcome in the house. Is that true? I met an occultic man once upon a time, and in the house there is a room that nobody enter. Even his wife don't dare to enter. It's where he go to fellowship with the deity, where he collected powers. So he only enter into that room for me to make sacrifice. If you dare enter inside, you will die. Is what is referred to as a secret place. God has a secret place. So the Bible speaking in the book of Psalms 91. He said, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. There is a shadow of the Almighty that is found in the secret place of the Most High. That means God always appear in his secret place. But only those that are present in that secret place can see him. But what if you never enter into the secret place? You will never see him. There are some deeper communication that God does only in the secret place. And only those that are willing to go yonder can encounter it.